I'm meteorologist Carly Gomez, and you are looking at the first snowfall of the season. This taken at Donner here in Tahoe, and you can see that nice light dusting of snow. The Central Sierra Snow Lab saying you need about a half a centimeter to actually be considered a snowfall, and that is what they got. And they are looking at that first snow of the season now as we'll continue on to a little bit of a different condition as we move into the valley for the weekend. Dry, gusty winds are expected with red flag warnings. Now, before we get to that, we are expecting to see some of that snow beginning to taper off. So we'll look at more gusty conditions as well up in the high Sierra spots. Really, again, they didn't get much of that snow. Again, that very light dusting there. Some areas only seeing maybe as much as about an inch at Tahoe City, but everyone else just seeing that half a centimeter mark or less. So a little traceable spots here, as you can see that's showing up on our model snowfall. Otherwise, most places are already seeing a lot of that beginning to melt away. Now, yeah, we're looking at a super moon. The Hunter's moon is out for Thursday night, and it is big and it is beautiful super moon, the third of the year. We have one more to go, but this one is looking brighter than the rest as it's in perigee, closer to the earth, so it just appears bigger, although they're all the same size. Obviously they're all the same moon. What we're looking at with the super moon here is that it is the Hunter's moon, that is named for the season of hunting, where a lot of people get ready for the winter time, named after the time of indigenous people, where you start getting your hunting in order before winter comes. But again, the closest super moon of the year is the Hunter's moon, so we'll be looking at that as it really did start peaking at 7:26 a.m. but of course it is the nighttime now, and that is where we're seeing it big, bright, and beautiful. But we do have some big weather impact alert days ahead. And this is moving from Friday and Saturday. And then finally Sunday, things will calm down for us. So big weather impact days for you as we have fire weather concerns for dry and gusty winds kicking up for you at the start of your Friday, pretty much all throughout the day. Then Saturday, we'll start to slowly see things winding down as the red flag warning expires at 5 p.m. Gusts 45 to 55 miles per hour, dry and gusty conditions. Now, what we're also looking at here is the difficult driving conditions. We're also going to see potential for debris on the roadways and maybe even some downed trees or power lines. So please be careful if you see a power line down. Do not get out of the car. Do not cross that. Make sure you're calling for help. But power shutoffs are also possible by PG&E, and they'll be letting people know when they expect that to happen. Now, the red flag warning is in effect, again, Thursday, 11 p.m. until Saturday, 5 p.m. This is just north of Redding, all the way down into portions of the Central Valley and through the coastline to the Central California coast there. As again, we're looking at fire potential and fire danger with these dry weather conditions as well as gusty winds. These are coming in out of the north directly, so that northerly wind is really so much drier than that wind we get off the ocean. So these are why we're seeing the big concerns out there, those warnings being issued for potential fire outbreaks. 20 to 35 mile per hour wind gusts as we get until just past midnight there for Friday morning. 33 mile per hour wind gusts in Fairfield. And again, the winds could be anywhere from 35 to 45 miles per hour at a time. And again, they're gusts, so sustained winds a little different. Sustained winds typically closer to about 15 to 25 miles per hour. Now, as we start getting into Saturday, notice how the morning hours, 9:30 a.m., things are starting to slow down, at least for the valley spots, but still pretty gusty for our friends into those coastal range areas and pushing up towards Santa Rosa, just to the east of there and north of Fairfield. So we'll still see very gusty conditions there and gusty winds still in our foothill spots coming downslope. So again, dangerous conditions when we talk about these downslope winds and the potential for a spark to really carry on much further with the wind gusts. Now, our futurecast winds into 5 p.m. This is when the red flag warning expires. Again, we'll be looking at much lighter winds, about 5 to 10 miles per hour, and then much lighter again as we move into Sunday. And here's exactly what's happening. We had a low pressure system brought us some scattered showers as we move through Wednesday morning, that kind of tapered off. Then Thursday, as that low continued to shift, wrapping some of that rain right back around, we brought in some of those snow showers that we saw later this evening, and those have begun starting to shift out as well. So that low starting to move into the Great Basin. Just to the west of that, strong high pressure is in place. Now, the two up against each other really causing a pressure gradient. Strong gusts beginning to start moving in from the north, and it began getting a little gusty as of Thursday afternoon and really increasing those wind gusts as we start moving closer to midnight and throughout your Friday. So the wind gusts will be coming in again from the north dry winds coming in over land, really dropping humidity levels as low as even the teens to even single digits into the afternoon hours. So we're looking at that low pressure system beginning to shift toward the east. As we look into Sunday, we should start seeing the winds slowing down for us. And we have another trough just out here. What's going to happen, though, is we're starting to see a lot of the temperatures dropping. We're staying in a zonal flow zone here, where what we get is similar temperatures over a period of time. So notice how we're kind of staying in that orange to lighter orange yellow. As we continue through the week, we stay in that zone for quite some time. Those temperatures staying zonal, meaning we're going to be right around the upper 70s to low 80s. Finally, by the following Friday, just take a look at this on the 25th. See this big dip happening here. We're starting to see the potential for maybe some shower chances. We're still just about a week away, so we'll have to wait and see whether this trough decides to dig in deeper into California. If that's the case, then we can expect to see some showers moving in. If not, and stays further north, unfortunately, we miss out on showers, but we'll still stay in the upper 70s to low 80s. That'll begin moving out for us as that snow is also shifted out of the way. The weather pattern showing here as we move into next week, mostly dry skies, a little bit of clouds in and out of the area. But again, on that following Friday, as mentioned, we may start seeing some rain. And if we get some, it's going to stay mostly to the northwest portion of the coastline, Eureka, maybe Redding. And if it decides to dip into our area around Sacramento, it looks like most of that will remain north of I-80 and then also along the coastline. So we may entirely miss out completely on the showers, but hey, it's still at least in the forecast and still worth a mention. As that moves back out, we're mostly going to be seeing a lot of clouds in and out of the areas. We start seeing that transition finally from summer to fall, although we've officially been in fall for quite some time. Temperatures into the foothills for Friday, looking at upper 60s, some low 70s, about 78 though for Ione. Overnight lows are much cooler in the upper 40s. Now for the Bay Area, you're looking at mid 70s to low 80s. Low 80s mostly around the Bay Area, but overnight lows right around the mid 50s. The Sacramento Valley spots all the way down to San Joaquin Valley. We're looking at mid 70s to upper 70s for Friday and overnight lows in the low 50s. So it is starting to cool down overnight. But over the next 3 days, again, we have 2 of those days with weather impact alerts Friday and Saturday for the gusty conditions we're expecting. By Sunday, partly sunny to mostly sunny skies in the 80s. And we finally go through next week pretty much with the same temperature almost every day of that work week in the upper 70s to low 80s with mid 70s that following weekend.